sure didn't. So, but yeah. But there's another side to the trade, ladies and gentlemen. The Memphis Grizzlies officially have broken up the big three. I talked about it a little bit in the intro. And to kind of reiterate, they acquired KCP, Cole Anthony, and 5 first round picks, including the one for this year. A lot of uncertainty, or a lot of BS has come out in the media about what the Grizzlies are doing. I think people who are tapped in with the team understand that trading Desmond Bane was a necessary evil to elevate your two best players in John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. National media is seen as, are the Grizzlies about to blow up this team, given that they probably could get something from John Morant or Jaren Jackson Jr. or both, depending on who you ask. And two, you talked about it a little bit, earlier in the week, how you think that they should consider blowing the team up. So why do you think that?
I think that because you've allowed OKC to get way better than you, and it's nowhere close. If you would have put the Grizzlies versus the Rockets in the playoffs, I think we all would have said the Rockets. The Nuggets, same case. The Timberwolves, I've been wanting that rematch for a minute just for Ant-Man can get his get back. What I'm saying is that the front management and or the players have allowed them to become a top 5-ish team in the West when a couple of years ago, Big Dog said that we was fine in the West. So again, I understand that Ja and Jaren got the potential, but Ja and Jaren are two cornerstones that you kind of got to sit back and be like, do I really want to build my team around? Yes, I understand John Morant is a superstar. Yes, I understand that the city of Memphis loves him, and I'm pretty sure he loves the city of Memphis back. However, the last 2 years of John Morant, I'm not sugarcoating it. They've been BS. I had John Morant as an MVP candidate going into this season. He was nowhere near it. Do I expect him going forward to, even with this team, to be one? Probably not. Again, we talk about Jaren Jackson, who again is ready for a pay cut. I know the diplomat is all this stuff, but I said on this podcast, dog, he get more fouls and he get rebounds. And we are talking about the city of Memphis. We're going from Zach Randolph and Mark Gasol, dogs, grit and grind, the literal definition, to again a kid who can't get 5 rebounds. We got to pray and hope that he can. And I know he makes it up for it defensively. I know he does, but at the same time, is this really somebody that we want to build around? So again, I say if we get all these pieces, we need to either bring in a superstar or cut our losses and acknowledge the fact that, again, I said on last podcast, we failed in transitioning from the grit and grind era. We need to acknowledge that as soon as possible and do what my dog Sheedy say, sell high. Again, if we're not bringing in a superstar this summer, what the hell are we doing? Are we going to run it back again with a worse team? I'd rather us go ahead and be like, all right, 3-4 years from now, we can be able to compete with OKC. But let's go ahead and push this refresh button, this button right now before it gets too late. And then we're gonna be stuck with John Morant and a dude that is getting better offensively. But I don't want a power forward that can't get 4 or 5 rebounds a game. That's just me. Because you're not even a power forward at that point. You're just a 4. And shout out to my dog, Jaren. I believe in him, but he's not doing it for me, especially with what I've seen being a Grizz fan. I'd rather blow it up now if they don't bring in a star with all these pieces they're about to
get. Speaking of Grizz fans, real quick, Grizz fans, just because Desmond Bane is happy about being in Orlando doesn't mean he doesn't miss Memphis. Like, two things can be true. You shouldn't be seeing someone that comes into your city and not embrace it. So whatever he had to say about the city, Orlando or Memphis, let it ride. It's fine. It's cool. Beat him on the court if that's really how you feel. Second, I'm gonna say this real quick because I saw this scenario that there is a owner or someone that's close to Knicks that actually thought about Jaren Jackson Jr. getting traded and pairing up with Karl Anthony Towns. Now I don't know how the trade scenario will go. I'm sure we'll send Mikal Bridges to Memphis at that point. Now, what does it look like for the Grizzlies? Yeah, blow it up. Because what are you going to get? What trade are you going to get to put y'all over the hump? Every team is going to get better. First of all, thank you, Nico. We got to give Nico more praise because he wasn't afraid to trade a franchise player for another franchise player. Are the Grizzlies ready to do that? No. And every team ahead of them is going to get better. If the Timberwolves can trade Karl Anthony Towns for Julius Randle to see what they could do, what is Memphis willing to do? And I stand with too. I think that they should blow it up. Maybe you keep Ja for the city and move on from Jaren Jackson Jr. And you can get, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. will give you more than Ja. That's me personally. Just because of one, he has now shown that he can stay healthy for a good amount of the season. 2, he's a DPOY candidate every single year. 3, just trade him. Figure it out. You got Zach Edey. You got 7-4 back there. You be all right.
He's hurt right now, but okay.
Shows Brandon Clark. All of them hurt.
everybody hurt.
So blow it up. Don't get something. But like seriously, like I think they have to consider where they're at. I would almost put everything on the back of Ja and build a team around Ja at this point. Because I think Jaren Jackson Jr. just gives you more value. To Tuke's point, to me, Ja's value has decreased over these 2 years. Is his production down? Not really production. It's just his value on and off the court.
No, it's production down too, because he's playing for a coach that he can't figure out his offense on. Remember, they hired him as a head coach now.
Because the system is made to play without Ja.
Exactly.
That's why. So yeah, there's some decisions that need to be made. But if I were Memphis, I would not be done. Somebody's going to want those picks, and you might have some other contract or something that you can take on as well to get what you want. Again, to Tuke's point, if you are not bringing in a superstar talent, I'm talking about someone that's going to pack out FedEx every night. If Ja don't play, then you just move on because everyone else in the West is going to get better.
And I don't even want to say superstar, but if we can just, even before this trade, we as Grizz Nation, I ain't gonna put myself in that. Me as a Grizzlies fan, I didn't know the direction of this team. So trading Bane brings in more questions than it does answers. And of course, I want us to bring in a superstar if possible because we got the pieces to, but I just want us to get better. And it's possible. But again, Zach Kleiman, that was a good trade to bring in some pieces. But dog, again, we don't know if we finna go to the bottom and I ain't gonna say tank, but be in the top 5 lottery discussion next year. Or we don't know if we try to be playoff team. I legit don't know what's the direction for this Grizz team. Even with this trade, it makes it even more confusing.
Yeah, especially when you look at the teams behind us. Immediately, I think of the San Antonio Spurs. You think San Antonio Spurs ain't gonna be a playoff team or a playing team next year?
It's a chance we could be the worst team in the Southwest Division next year. I mean, crazy. I mean, of course, AD and Kyrie got
Pelicans.
I forgot about the Pelicans.
Go watch DeJounte Murray's.
What he said.
He looks sad as hell. He's saying, don't get my dog out of there.
Yeah, that's where he needs to go.
Orlando get out of there.
No, he looks sad as hell. No, I forgot about the Pelicans. But I mean, again, they got a chance. I mean, Dallas. They should be better than we should.
Will be. Dallas will be better. San Antonio will be better. Houston Rockets already good enough, but better. So yeah.
What are we doing?
So, man, I think originally when we thought that Desmond Bane would get traded, it would be for a superstar. And so for them to acquire picks, I'm like, okay, who needs picks? Obviously, that's Phoenix. They need picks because they have no future beyond. Kevin Durant getting traded. Devin Booker is supposed to stay there. I guess. I don't know why he would want to stay. I mean, I know why. He's been there for 10 years now. And so he's probably found a home in Phoenix and life. And I don't know if he's married, kids, whatever. Once you've been there and you've got comfortable, it's not a bad city. I mean, Tuke moved there. So why would he want to leave Phoenix? So.
And I love it. I'm not going anywhere else.
Top 10 city. Top 7, actually.
Look, people go there to retire for real. They enjoy the city of Phoenix, man.
Number 7.
And so I'm thinking like, okay, the Grizzlies got all these first round picks. You can't trade Desmond Bane without the foresight to say, okay, we're trading him knowing that we're getting something else. And I've said, we talked about it a little bit on this podcast for the past couple of weeks. The way to go to build your team is probably not a big 3. You've already got John Morant, who's going to get paid. He ain't going nowhere. You got Jaren Jackson Jr., who is up after next year. He's going to get paid, $20-something million this year, upcoming, cheap price. And so you're going to have to pay him in preparation for the future. You don't want to go into next this season and have not paid Jaren Jackson Jr. Then you mess around and have a Dylan Brooks situation where you didn't pay him. He didn't walk per se because it was a signed trade with Houston, but you don't want to have that looming over the team going into the season where it's like Jaren's playing well. Damn, the price going up, or he's not paying well, and I don't want to pay him. Can we trade him?
And he probably started rebounding.
He might start rebounding next year. We never know. But that's the point. If you want to make a decision about Jaren now and trade him, or go ahead and sign him now, so you don't have that problem looming over your head. What I think is going to happen, they're gonna have Ja. Ja's already paid per se. He might get paid again for another extension. But you have Ja, you have Jaren. You're gonna pay Jaren. I think you're gonna pay Jaren. And the move is not to trade for a Kevin Durant, not to trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. The move is to get a marginal sort of third option that could be a second option if in the case you decide to trade Ja or Jaren Jackson Jr. Look at the OKC team right now. Not OKC, but OKC and Indiana teams. Indiana went to go get Pascal Siakam, a player that's like it's Pascal. Who cares? It's Pascal Siakam. Nobody care about that. But you care now when he's putting up buckets in the finals or along the way to the finals. Looking at as far as draft picks, either you're gonna have to draft well. J-Dub wasn't a lottery pick. You know what I'm saying? SGA was not a lottery pick. So you get, and of course that wasn't OKC, that was the Clippers, but you still got to trade for a player that's like, he's not gonna be starting with us for the Clippers. Let's trade for SGA and see what happened. But you traded for a player that was not picked in the lottery, you know. So does that mean we're gonna trade these picks and we're gonna go get a Jalen Green, that sort of player where it's like, he's okay, but let's see, he'll be better with us and develop into that amazing second or third potential option. I'm not saying trade for Jalen Green, ladies and gentlemen. I know there's beef with Jalen Green's offense. I'm just saying a player of that ilk, where it's a player that's young, that has potential, but it's not being met in that particular city. And so the Grizzlies, they cannot have made this trade for, or I guess pushing away Desmond Bane and not have a second move in play. If they don't make a second move, I'm gonna be pissed. Not mad for real, but I'm gonna be like, what are we doing? We just gave away Desmond Bane for KCP, who won't be here beyond 2 years. Cole Anthony won't be here beyond 2 years because he's getting a lot of money. Cole Anthony getting a lot of money for his role as a backup point guard, a backup scorer. And so you have to make a move for my guess is like a 3-point shooter. 3-point shooters and wings they at size. They need that alongside John Morant. You didn't need an undersized Desmond Bane, who they're calling 3 Rex in Orlando because he got the short arms and he's number 3. Yeah, 3 Rex, Sheedy. They call him 3 Rex. That's crazy. So you need like an OG Anunoby, a Mikal Bridges, like a player that's like borderline all-star, but not quite an all-star to fit with Ja and Jaren, who are going to be your all-star caliber players. You have to make that move. If they don't make a move, it's going to be a problem.